Although the poultry industry is one of Georgia's largest, attorneys and activists say the work is sometimes dangerous and exhausting, and it is vulnerable to accidents. 11 Alive's Doug Richards takes a closer look.
Georgia politicians like to boast that the Peach State is actually the nation's top producer of chicken. Yet news cameras are almost never allowed inside chicken plants, where most workers are unskilled and where the workload can be crushing.
I've seen women there that have their arms, they're swollen, and they force themselves to work because this is all that they have.
Bridgette Simpson said she spent 1.5 years working in 2 North Georgia chicken plants until she was fired in 2018. Simpson did not work at the plant where the fatal accident occurred Thursday. She says liquid nitrogen is used in chicken plants to flash freeze the processed meat. The fatal leak Thursday did not surprise her.
I'm so saddened. I immediately thought hundreds of people because they have us packed in like sardines. It's literally a cesspool.
Chicken plants were forced to change some of their safety protocols last year after the COVID outbreak, which took the lives of some plant workers around Gainesville and drew the attention of Governor Brian Kemp and others. Attorney Bruce Hagan says he expects investigators to examine if those changes played a role in the accident.
The poultry industry is like many that the labor force is largely an unskilled labor force that is vulnerable to this sort of thing.
Hagan says he expects a rigorous federal investigation, not only on the plant, but also on potential contractors who may have had a role in maintaining the equipment.
All right, Doug, thank you. We did talk with a safety expert in the poultry industry who stressed the importance of education and training to save lives in those specific environments. Director of Safety Programs Matt Spencer with the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association says they're going to use any lessons gleaned from yesterday's tragedy to try to continue making the poultry plants safer.
It's a tragic event, and we really want to learn from it, and by learning, we're paying respect to those who tragically passed away yesterday, and prevent it from ever happening again.
We are continuing to follow the situation very closely in Gainesville. To hear the updates from investigators in full, you can download the 11 Live app or look for the story on the homepage of 11alive.com.